Morning Year 5. So like yesterday, I've just started with a reminder because today is the day that Frank Cottrell Boyce will be using YouTube to answer some questions about Cosmic, seeing as it's so popular at the moment, and obviously it's the book that we are currently enjoying. So like I said yesterday, if you could get permission from an adult to either look through Frank Cottrell Boyce's Twitter account, which is signposted at the start of the video, or find his YouTube channel. It'd be wonderful to see and hear about what he has to say, and especially if we can get a question from one of us answered by him, that would be really cool. So look at the details at the start of the video again, and let's see how we get on. Now, today we're going to have a go at answering some inference questions a little bit more independently, and then as per tradition, we'll continue to finish off with a Cosmic and the next part of the story. Okay, so yesterday we finished off with this question: how do you know Liam's dad was offended? And we just mentioned the fact that we were looking for the answer to the question by using our own personal experience and looking for clues in the text to be able to make an inference. So on this particular question, we said that we knew his dad was offended because he was arguing back and he disagreed with what Liam's mom was saying. So a point is, yes, he was offended because, and then the evidence that explains that point is how we are trying to structure our inference answers. We'll come on to that a little bit more shortly. Right. As per usual, we're going to just quickly recap some of the key vocabulary from the text. So repeat after me: abnormally, certificate, procedure, metaphorical, dispensation. And reminder of the root word in the word stroking is the word stroke. When we turn stroke into stroking, we lose the E off the end of stroke and add the ing suffix. And then finally, the spelling rule in the word specialist is that in the middle of the word we've mentioned before, the cial, C-I-A-L. Okay, and then our practicing just repeating some of the keywords again. So after me: abnormally, certificate, procedure, metaphorical, and dispensation. Okay, so we're going to start with an hour turn. So we're trying to try and do this one together. We've got the text where we're looking for our inference at the top of the screen. So the question is: why did Liam think grown-upness is wasted on grown-ups? Why did Liam think grown-upness is wasted on grown-ups? So that is a direct quote from the text. Okay, so let's have a little look. So it says here, if you are my dad, for instance, all you have to do is fill your car with petrol, turn left, turn right, go straight on, and next thing you know, white beaches, snowy mountains, coral reefs. Truly, grown-upness is wasted on grown-ups. So we found the quote in the text. Why did he think it is wasted on grown-ups? Why did he think grown-upness? So let's look back. It's just said all you have to do is fill up your car with petrol, go this way, that way, and the other, and you will end up in places with white beaches, snowy mountains, and coral reefs. Now, his point is that it's wasted on grown-ups, the opportunity to be able to do that. But why did he think that? So let's have a look. He said it was easy to do things like go to the beach, but they did not. So his point is they didn't do it, even though they could, because it was easy. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. Right, so a bit more of a your turn on this one, because we've got my 3 chilly questions. So I'm going to read the text first this time, and then I'm going to leave the chilly questions for you to have a go at. So here's the text that we're going to use. So that's how I ended up on the stage, standing just behind Lorraine while she talked to the whole school. There were about 8 people in the front row who knew me because they'd been at Joan of Arc Primary too, including Florida Kirby, who kept waving and making faces. Lorraine said everyone was welcome and she hoped everyone had had a good summer and something about a new registration procedure. And then she said, and now I'd like to introduce to you a new member of staff. He's going to be teaching media studies and he'll be form tutor for Class 9 Mandela. This is Mr. Middleton. Okay, so Chili 1, how do we know Florida recognised Liam? So if I just put the text back on, so this would be a place where you could pause it to find the answer. Okay, so the point is, obviously we know Florida recognised Liam, but where is the evidence of that? Okay, number 2, Mrs. Sass was excited to introduce Liam. Prove it. Okay, how do we know she was excited? Does it say Mrs. Sass was excited to introduce Liam? No, it doesn't. So it's inferred her excitement. Where is the evidence? How can we prove that she was excited? What is the clue in the text? And then Chili 3, which phrase tells us Mrs. Sass was keen to see year 7? So let's put the whole text on the screen. How do we know she was keen to see year 7? Where is the evidence, the clue to suggest that we could say she was keen to see year 7 because, how do we know that? Have a go at those 3 questions, Chili 1, 2 and 3. Send them in via email to year5@frenchprimary.worcs.sch.uk, as so many of you have been already, and keep them coming in year 5. Right, tomorrow we're going to have another go at and finish our lessons on inference, but now we are going to move on to the next part of Cosmic. Okay, so if you remember yesterday, Liam almost took a drive in the Porsche, and his dad just appeared just in the nick of time. Right, let's see what happens next. When I climbed out, you were shouting at the man in the suit, telling him that I could have been killed and asking him why they don't check ages. How was I supposed to know? Wailed the man. By checking his license. Good point, Dad. He didn't have one. Of course he hasn't got one. He's 12 years old. Look, mate, said the man in the suit, don't go blaming me because your son's a freak. I thought Dad was going to hit him then. He growled, he's not a freak, he's normal, but tall. It wasn't just his height, it was the fact that he seemed to have a daughter. Dad's got this little statue of St. Christopher stuck to his dashboard. When he was shoving me into the taxi on the way back from the town centre, I bumped against it and it rolled onto the floor. Pick that up, snapped Dad. Okay, you've knocked the baby Jesus off his back. Just don't talk to me, Liam. I said okay, but there was something I wanted to ask him. I waited till we were on the dock road, and then I said, how did you know where we were? I'm your dad, he said. If you act funny, I notice. If you get on an unexpected bus instead of going home, I follow you. Even if that means turning down fares and having the boss bawling at me on the radio. I'm your dad. It's what dads do. Thinking about that now makes me wonder if you're out there somewhere behind us, charging after us through the wastes of space in your taxi. But no taxi would be able to generate the necessary escape velocity. In case you're interested, by the way, this is how Dad located us that day. When he gave me his old phone, he bought himself a new one, but he kept his old number. So there were 2 phones, phone 1, Dad's, and phone 2, mine, with the same identity. So if he was ever worried about me, he could fire up Draxwald and request present position of phone 2, and that would tell him where I was. So my phone looked like a phone, but really it was an electronic tag. Because we shared a phone number, I used to get all Dad's messages from Pine Planet telling me that the new kitchen units were ready for collection. And Dad used to get messages from members of my World of Warcraft guild saying stuff like, been attacked by dragons, need your healing powers now. And captured 50 goblins, kill or hold for ransom. A nervous person might have thought, blimey, we're being invaded by mythical creatures, and maybe gone and hidden away in the woods behind the golf course. Dad just thought, this phone's gone funny. I'll turn it off and turn it on again. That's Dad's solution to any technological problem. Microwave, sat-nav, computer, dishwasher, turn it off, back on again. It'll be okay. To be fair, it usually works. I'd try it now, but I'm not sure this rocket has an off switch. Okay, that's the end of that chapter. Tomorrow we'll begin the chapter My Planet. Let's get on the camera. My Planet Panda Pop, whatever that means.